Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, and welcome to Unturned 3.20.5. This week, finally, we are back to regular updates for Unturned. As some of you guys may know, Nelson has been on vacation and searching for a new apartment for the majority of August, so we haven't been getting very many updates or any major updates for the past month or so. Now, Nelson is back. He says the transition to Toronto, where he lives now, went well. It's been exciting moving out for the first time and a lot more work than he expected. Mostly everything's settled now, aside from some cleaning to do and furniture to get, but he thanks us for our patience in this last month while he was away, and he's hyped to resume work. Starting with this week's update, we got a few community suggested additions and improvements that are very exciting, one of which is something that I've been hoping to get for a very long time now. Now, it works similarly to the GPS and the chart in that as long as it's in your inventory, it gives you some sort of bonus. Now, in the case of a GPS, as long as it's in your inventory, you don't have to equip it or anything, you get access to the satellite view of the map. Though if it's not in your inventory, then it just becomes a no GPS found sort of thing. This new object works similarly in that as long as it's in your inventory, you get to take advantage of its effects, and it is the new compass. Yes, so excited to have this added to the game. Once it is in your inventory, it can be anywhere in your inventory, you now get this little compass view at the bottom of your screen, consistently displaying the angle at which you are looking. Now, this is incredibly useful for PvP scenarios, especially with friends. Now, previously, if I was playing on a PvP and I was rolling through the forest with a friend closely by my side and I got shot with somebody by that tree right there, I got shot at and I could see where they were, but my teammate couldn't, I would have to explain like, oh yeah, he's by the snowy pine tree next to that radio tower. And then my friend who's right here, he'd be like, snowy pine tree, snowy pine tree, snowy pine tree, radio tower, snowy pine, and then he sees him. All right. We're already dead by that point. It's GG, dude. It's annoying trying to have to explain situations, especially in a forest like this where you have to explain where this pine tree is relative to all the other pine trees. It's just a pain in the butt. Now, if I get shot at by a guy next to that pine tree right there, I just, oh, there he is, bearing 340, I call it out, and my friend's like, bearing 340, there's 340, boom, there, you found him, just like that. Easy as can be. If you guys have ever played any sort of military sim or anything with just compass bearings and a combat system with co-op, compass bearings are super useful. You use them all the time, and I'm super excited to see it added in Unturned. I'm going to be using it all the time. And speaking of all the time, if you guys are a server owner, you have the option available to you to consistently enable compass all the time. So if, for example, you enabled always display compass on your server, even if players did not have the compass in their inventory, they would still always be seeing that compass screen down at the bottom. Now, another improvement this week is incredibly useful for when you're riding passenger in a friend's vehicle. Now, you no longer need to spam M to refresh the map's locations. Now, it is consistently displaying your location real time as you are moving across the map. So if you are in, for example, the back of an APC and there are no windows, you can't really see very well to see where you are, instead of just spamming M, trying to like, all right, I'm here, and then you can figure out what direction you're traveling, just hold the map open and now it will be consistently displaying the locations. Super useful. And also, if you are playing with a group of friends, it will also be displaying their location as they move through the map real time, no refreshing needed. I don't really need to explain how useful this is. It's kind of self-explanatory, and it's awesome to have this added this week. Now, some of the other changes this week apply to arena servers. So I've logged on to a random arena server here, one of which actually has that option enabled to consistently display the compass, which is awesome. So as you can see, I don't have a compass in my inventory, though I'm able to see those bearings down below at the bottom of my screen at all times. It's really useful, especially if you're playing with friends. Also, on the topic of playing with friends on arena servers, I think we've all come across scenarios when playing on an arena server, and it's kind of annoying, where you find a group of like 10 players that are just demolishing the server. There's no way to beat them because they're just, I mean, half the server is working together. It's kind of hard to beat a group of 10. Now, if you are an arena server owner, you can now limit the maximum size of a group that can be on your server, or just completely eliminate groups in general. This is going to be super awesome to have on arena servers. I think a sweet spot would be around 4 players. Anything more than that, it gets a little crazy. So it'd be nice to have limits like that owners can set to prevent those crazy groups of 10 from happening as often as it does. Now, Arena actually got a ton of improvements this week, almost enough to be considered an overhaul, really, and that's why I've logged onto the server here. One of which, and it's very convenient that this has popped up just now, is that airdrops now drop on arena maps. This is a very exciting way to spice things up a bit and possibly get weapons that are otherwise completely inaccessible on arena maps. So these airdrops spawn any kind of item inside them. You could even find a Hell's Fury inside one of these airdrops, so it's definitely worth considering stopping by some of these airdrop locations and risking your life to get some super unique weapons. And you don't need to stress about it as much as you would on another PvP server, because if you die when you're going for this airdrop, you can just wait until next round. Now, another improvement this week applies to the arena compactor, that little wall that is consistently closing in on an arena map. Now, as you can see here, it does stop every once in a while. In this case, it's currently stopped, and when it is stopped, it will be yellow. This is a way to let you know, hey, get inside this before it starts compacting. This compactor works in stages, just like PUBG or H1Z1 Battle Royale or whatever that's called. This wall no longer consistently closes in. It will move in a little bit and stop, and then move in a little bit more, and then stop, to give you time to clear the area without having to worry about getting too close to that wall. Also, with the new changes to the map, now when you press M, you don't need to be consistently pressing M to see this wall close. As you can see here, with it refreshing consistently, you can see the wall closing in real time, and it's just really nice to have this. And now you can see that white is closing in on the yellow, and that is where it will stop for a few minutes until it can determine the new location. So you can kind of see how it's working. In stages, no, man, I didn't see him, man. But as you can see, that's how the stages system work. The yellow line is indicating where the white line will stop until it moves to the next stage. Lastly, September 2017 Workshop Crate number 4 was added this week, combining all kinds of community-created skins into one box that will be dropped throughout the next month and can be opened using a key that you purchase on the Unturned store page. The proceeds from that key will go to support the creators of the skins inside that box. Unfortunately, this update came out too recently for me to be able to find one for a decent price, but maybe in the next few days I'll buy 10 or 15 of them and open them up for a separate video. Regardless, that was basically everything that was added in Unturned 3.20.5. Lots of super cool stuff. Between the new Compass edition and the improvements to Arena, which one is your favorite? I think that's a very close call that I'll leave for you guys to decide. But other than that, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish, because MeLikeBigBoom is out.